Hello everyone. In my last session, I have discussed some of the problems of current electricity. Let's continue with some more problems in this session. I will read the question. A copper wire of area of cross section 4 millimeter square is 4 meter long and carries a current of 10 ampere. The number density of free electrons is 8 into 10 power 28 per meter cube. How much time is required by an electron to travel the length of the wire? So this is the problem asked. Now let me write the situation. We have a wire the area of cross section is given. A is equal to 4 millimeter square, and also the length of the wire is given. This is the length of the wire. L is equal to 4 meter. L is equal to 4 meter. Next, this conductor is carrying a current I which is equal to 10 ampere. Current carried by the conductor is 10 ampere, and the number density of electrons, the number of electrons present per unit volume of the wire, which is equal to small n. N is equal to 8 into 10 power 28 per meter cube. So these are the given things. What we need to calculate here is the time required by an electron to travel the length of this wire. From the first PU physics, we have learned that velocity is equal to displacement by time. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Therefore, equation for time can be written as displacement by velocity. Yes. So here we have an electron. So this electron is traveling from here to here. This electron has to travel from one end of the wire to this end. So we need to calculate what is the time required by this electron to travel the length of the wire. So let me write the time required by an electron. The time taken is equal to displacement. Displacement is nothing but length of this wire. So this is length of the wire. Length of the wire divided by velocity. So we have learned that all the free electrons in a conductor, when they are drifted, they will move with a common velocity called drift velocity. So this is nothing but drift velocity. So velocity of electrons is nothing but a drift velocity. So time is equal to L divided by drift velocity Vd. So they have given the value of length. So length is given as 4 meter. But we need to calculate what is the drift velocity Vd. So we need to calculate this Vd. How do you find the Vd? So we have an equation for finding the value of Vd. Vd is equal to, that is drift velocity in terms of current. Vd is equal to I divided by NEA. So where I is current carried by the conductor, N is number of electrons per unit volume, E is charge on an electron, and A is the area of cross section of the conductor. Current is 10 ampere, so this is 10 divided by N. Number density is 8 into 10 power 28. This into charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into area of cross section of the wire. So area of cross section of the wire is 4 millimeter square. So if to convert millimeter square into meter square, we should multiply 10 power minus 6. So 4 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. Let us substitute that. 4 into 10 raised to minus 6. Now let us divide this. First, let us do the denominator. 8 into 1.6 into 4. So this will be 51.2 into We have 10 power 28, 10 power minus 19 and 10 power minus 6. So let us add these two. Minus 19 minus 6 is minus 25 and we have 28 here, plus 28. So 28 minus 25. So this will be 10 power plus 3, 10 power 3. Now let us divide this. 10 divided by 51.2. This will be 0.1953 into this 10 power 3 goes to numerator. So this becomes 10 power minus 3 and drift velocity is this much, or we can write Vd is equal to 1.95 into 10 power minus 4. So I have shifted this point towards the right side, so I should decrease the power. So 10 power minus 4. So 1.95 into 10 power minus 4 meter per second. So we got the value of drift velocity now. Next, we need to calculate the time required by an electron to travel the length. So we have an equation like T is equal to L divided by Vd. So now I know the value of L as well as Vd. Let us substitute that. So T equals L is 4 and drift velocity is Vd is equal to 1.95 into 10 power minus 4. This is 1.95 into 10 power minus 4. Let me divide this. 4 divided by 1.95. So this will be 2.05 into this 10 power minus 4 goes to numerator. This becomes 10 power plus 4 seconds. So we got the value of time. T is equal to 2.05 into 10 power 4 seconds. Next we will move on to the next question. The next problem is a wire of circular cross section of diameter 0.08 millimeter is made of a material whose resistivity is 1.6 micro ohm meter. If the resistance of the wire is 21 ohm, find its length. Let's understand the problem. So we have a wire which is having a circular cross section. So if we take the cross section of this wire, this looks circular. They have given the diameter of this circle, diameter of the circular cross section. So the diameter is 0.08 millimeter. Let me write this in SI unit. 0.08 millimeter. I will convert this into SI unit. 0.08 into 10 power minus 3 meter. So this will be the SI unit. Next, they have also given the value of resistivity of the wire. Resistivity of the material of the wire is 1.6 micro ohm meter. 1.6 micro ohm meter. Micro is 10 power minus 6. Therefore, rho will be 1.6 into 10 power minus 6 ohm meter. And also they have given the value of resistance of this wire. Resistance of the wire is given as 21 ohm. So what are the given things? Diameter of the circular cross section, which is 0.08 millimeter. Next, resistivity of the material of the wire is 1.6 micro ohm meter. That will be 1.6 into 10 power minus 6 ohm meter. And resistance of the wire is 21 ohm. What we need to find is, what is the length of this wire? We need to find the length of the wire. So we know the equation for resistance in terms of resistivity. We know that resistance of the wire, that can be written as rho L divided by A. So we have a formula for resistance of the wire in terms of resistivity. R is equal to rho L by A. So in this problem, we need to calculate the length. So let me substitute the value for length. L is equal to, I will take this A to the, I will multiply this A with R. So R into A divided by, this comes to denominator, rho. Now they are saying that the wire is having a circular cross section. So for the circular cross section, area of cross section will be pi r square, pi r square. But we know that radius is half of the diameter. Therefore, we can write this as r as d by 2 the whole square. So r square is d by 2 the whole square. I have written r as d by 2 here. So this becomes pi d square by 4. So this area of cross section of the wire can be written as pi d square by 4. Let me substitute that. L is equal to r into, instead of a I will write pi d square by 4. So pi d square by 4, this divided by resistivity rho. I will write this here. L is equal to pi d square into r, and 4 comes to denominator. So pi d square r divided by 4 goes to here. So 4 into rho. Therefore L is equal to, let me substitute the values now. Pi is 3.14 into d square. Diameter is given as 0.08 millimeter. So this is 0.08 into 10 power minus 3 the whole square. This into resistance of the wire is 21 ohm. This is 21 divided by 4 into rho is given as 1.6 into 10 power minus 6. Now let us do this calculation. 3.14 into 0.08 into 0.08 into 21. So in the numerator we got 0.4220. This into 10 power minus 3 square is 10 power minus 6 divided by 4 into 1.6. This is 6.4 into 10 power minus 6. Let us cancel these two and divide these. 0.422 divided by 6.4. So we got 0.0659 meter, or else I can write this as 6.59 into 10 power minus 2. So I have shifted the decimal point towards the right side, 2 digits, therefore 6.59 into 10 power minus 2 meter. So we got the value of length as this much. Next we will move on to the next one. The next problem is a metal cube of side 1 centimeter is drawn into a wire of length 40 centimeter. The resistivity of the material of the wire is 44 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. Find the resistance of the wire. Let's understand the problem here. So we have a metal cube. The side length is given as 1 centimeter. So I will say A is equal to, the side length is A, that is equal to 1 centimeter. This metal cube is drawn into a wire of length 40 centimeter. So we are just changing the shape of this metal cube into a wire. So wire is like this, which is of cylindrical shape. So we are just changing the shape of the metal cube into a wire, and this wire is now having a length of 40 centimeter. The length of this wire is 40 centimeter. L is equal to 40 centimeter. Now what is the other thing given? The resistivity of this wire is given as 44 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. What we need to find is resistance of this wire. So we need to find the resistance of this wire. How to find the resistance? We know that. Let us use the same equation as we used in the previous problem. Resistance R is equal to rho L divided by A. Rho L divided by A. So here we know the resistivity. The value of resistivity is given. We know the length of the wire also, but we don't know the area of cross section. So first we need to find out the area of cross section of the wire. So by observing this diagram, we are just changing the shape of this metal cube into a wire so that their volume must be same. Volume remains constant, so we cannot change the volume of that material. So we are just changing the shape of an object. Therefore, volume of this cube, volume of the cube must be equal to volume of this wire. Yes. So volume of the cube must be equal to volume of the wire. So volume of the cube is nothing but A cube, side length, the whole cube, A cube. And volume of the wire, that can be written as length of the wire into its area of cross section. Length of the wire into area of cross section is the volume of this wire. Therefore, I will write this as area of cross section into length of the wire. So we need to find the area of cross section of the wire. So let us substitute this. A is equal to, take this L to the denominator, therefore A cube divided by L. A cube divided by L. We know the value of A is 1 centimeter. A is 1 centimeter. Therefore this is 1 into 10 power minus 2. I will convert that into SI unit. So 1 centimeter is 1 into 10 power minus 2, the whole cube, divided by length of the wire is 40 centimeter. So 40 into 10 power minus 2. So let us do this calculation. So 1 into 10 power minus 2 whole cube. So this will be 1 into 10 power minus 6. 1 cube is 1, 10 power minus 2 cube is 10 power minus 6. So this is divided by 40 into 10 power minus 2. So 1 by 40. So we'll get 0.025. 0.025 into 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 2. So if we divide this, we'll get 10 power minus 4 meter square. So we got the value of area of cross section of this wire. Now to find the value of resistance, we can use this equation R is equal to rho L by A, because we know the value of resistivity and length of the wire is already known. Now area of cross section is calculated. Therefore, we can substitute in this equation to get the value of resistance. Let us substitute the values. Resistivity is 44 into 10 power minus 8. This into length of the wire is 40 into 10 power minus 2 divided by area of cross section is 0.025 into 10 power minus 4. Let's do this calculation. 44 into 40 divided by 0.025. So we get the value like 70400. This into 10 power minus 8, 10 power minus 2 is 10 power minus 10, and we have 10 power minus 4 in the denominator. So 10 power minus 6. So this becomes 10 power minus 6. So this is 10 power minus 6. So we get 70400 into 10 power minus 6. Let us write this like this, 7.04. I will shift the decimal towards the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7.04. So we should decrease the power here. So this will be 10 power minus 2. So R is equal to 7.04 into 10 power minus 2 ohm. R is equal to 7.04 into 10 power minus 2 ohm. We'll move on to the next one now. The next problem is, in the given circuit, calculate the current through the galvanometer. Let's write the circuit now. The circuit will be like this. Along the quadrilateral ABCD, we have a resistors 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 4 ohm. And along the diagonal BD, we have a galvanometer which is having a resistance of 5 ohm. Now, let the main current I is starting from here, and at this junction, current is going to split into I1 and I2. I1 and I2. Therefore, we can clearly write I is equal to I1 plus I2. I is equal to I1 plus I2. Now, at this junction, if I1 is the current entering and Ig is the current through this galvanometer, then this must be equal to I1 minus Ig. This is I1 minus Ig. And again here current I2 is coming towards this D, and Ig is also entering into the junction D. Now therefore at this junction current through this resistor must be I2 plus Ig. So this is the situation. And again here we have a current I. Now we should apply Kirchhoff's loop rule for finding the value of current through the galvanometer. So in the given problem they have asked to calculate the current through this galvanometer. We need to find this Ig. So let us apply Kirchhoff's loop rule for the first loop A, B, D, A. So we are going in this direction, A, B, D, A. Applying Kirchhoff's loop rule for the loop A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. So here current is I1, resistance is 1 ohm. So let us multiply that. 1 I1. I am multiplying resistance and current, and the direction of current. As we go along the direction of current, the sign must be negative. So minus of 1 I1. Coming to here, from B to D, current is Ig and resistance of the galvanometer is 5 ohm. So this is minus of 5 Ig. Minus of 5 Ig. And here D to A. D to A. Now we are in the reverse direction to the current. Therefore the sign must be positive. And I2, current is I2 and resistance is 4. So 4 I2. 4 I2. This is equal to 0. So we got an expression like this. The same equation can be written as I1 plus 5 Ig minus 4 I2. That is equal to 0. Let me call this as equation number 1. Now let us apply the Kirchhoff's loop rule similarly for the loop BCDB. Similarly for the loop BCDB. BCDB. So we are going in this direction again. From B to C, the current is I1 minus Ig and resistance is 2 ohm. Therefore this will be minus of 2 into I1 minus Ig. From C to D, we are in the reverse direction to the current. Therefore I2 plus Ig into 3. The sign is positive, plus 3 into I2 plus Ig. From D to B, the resistance of the galvanometer is 5 ohm and current is Ig. Again we are in the reverse direction, therefore sign is positive, plus 5 Ig is equal to 0. Let us write this equation by multiplying the coefficients. Minus 2 I1 plus 2 Ig plus 3 I2 plus 3 Ig plus 5 Ig equal to 0. Now minus 2 I1, let us add the terms Ig. 2 Ig plus 3 Ig plus 5 Ig. So this will be 10 Ig plus 10 Ig. 3 I2 plus 3 I2 equal to 0. The same equation is now written as 2 I1 minus 10 Ig minus 3 I2 equal to 0. So we got expression 2. The next loop is A, D, C, E, A. So for this loop we should apply the Kirchhoff law. A, D, C, E, A. For the loop A, D, C, E, A. Let us apply the Kirchhoff law. From A to D, current is I2, resistance is 4. This will be minus 4 I2. From D to C, I2 plus Ig into 3. This is minus of 3 into I2 plus Ig. And here, so we have a resistance of 1 ohm here. Internal resistance of the cell is 1 ohm. Therefore, current is I and resistance is 1. So we are in the same direction as current. Therefore, this should be negative. 1 into I. Minus of 1 into I. And EMF of the cell is 3 volt. So we are going from negative to positive. Therefore, EMF is positive. This is plus 3 equal to 0. Now, let us rearrange the equation. Minus 4I2 minus 3I2 minus 3Ig minus of, we know that I is equal to I1 plus I2 and we have minus sign here. Therefore, this will be I minus I1 minus I2 minus I1 minus I2 plus 3 equal to 0. And simplifying further, I am writing this I1 first, minus I1, minus 4I2, minus 3I2, minus I2. This will be minus 8I2, minus 8I2. This is minus 3Ig. We have plus 3 here. Let us send this plus 3 to the right hand side. This becomes minus 3. Now dividing all the terms by minus 1, what we get is I1 plus, I will write this first, plus 3Ig plus 8I2 equal to 3. So this is equation number 3. So now we got 3 equations. I1 plus 5Ig minus 4I2 equal to 0. 2I1 minus 10Ig minus 3I2 equal to 0. So second equation. The third equation is I1 plus 3Ig plus 8I2 equal to 3. Let us write them together. Now, in order to solve the value of Ig, let us use the Cramer's rule of determinants. How do we write the determinant here? We should write the coefficients of I1, Ig and I2 by the columns of determinant. How to write that? I will write it here. Look at this. Delta is equal to determinant of. The coefficients of I1 are the first column of the determinant. This is 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. Next, this is 5 minus 10, 3. 5 minus 10, 3. Next, the coefficients of I2 are the third column. Minus 4, minus 3, plus 8. Minus 4, minus 3, plus 8. Now, we should solve this determinant. How do we solve this determinant? This is equal to the first term of the first row, 1 into, leave out these two, the first column and first row. You should multiply these two elements, minus 10 into 8. So we get minus 80 minus, and we should multiply these two elements, 3 into minus 3. So 3 into minus 3 is minus 9. So this is minus 9. Yes. Next term, the second element of the first row. We should write minus here, minus of 5 into. Now, we should leave this one, first row and second column. For the second term, leave this first row and second column. Multiply these two elements, 2 and 8. So we are leaving this 2 into 8. This is 16 minus of 3 into 1. I mean minus 3 into 1. So minus 3 into 1 is minus 3. Therefore this is minus 3. Now the third term. So we have the third element of the first row. This is minus 4. Minus 4 into. Now leave this row and this column. Multiply these two elements. 2 into 3, this is 6, minus of minus 10 into 1 is minus 10. Therefore, this will be minus 10. Now, this is 1 into minus 80, minus into minus is plus, so plus 9. Minus 80 plus 9, minus of 5 into 16 plus 3, this is 19, minus 4 into 6, minus of minus plus, 10 plus 6 is 16. Now let us write this. Minus 80 plus 9 is minus 71. Minus 5 into 19 is minus 95. Minus 4 into 16 is 64. Now this is equal to, let us add this, 71 plus 95 plus 64. So we get 230 with a negative sign, minus 230. So we got the value of this determinant as minus 230. I will write it here. Delta is equal to minus of 230. Now we need to get the value of Ig. So for this, let us write one more determinant by the name delta G. Delta G. To find the value of delta G, how do we write the columns of the determinant? The first column should be the coefficients of I1, that is 1 to 1. First column is 1 to 1. Now we have to replace the coefficients of Ig by these three elements, 0, 0, 3. This is 0, 0, 3. And the third column is same, the coefficients of I2, that is minus 4, minus 3, 8. This is minus 4, minus 3, 8. Now let us solve this determinant. 1 into, leave this row and this column, 0 into 8 is 0, minus 3 into 3, minus of minus 3 into 3 is minus 9. So in the second the second element of this row is 0, therefore I will leave this. Next, third element of the row is minus 4 into, leave this row and this column and multiply these two. 2 into 3 is 6, minus 0 into 1 is 0. Therefore 1 minus of minus is plus, this is 9, minus 4 into 6. So 9 minus 4 into 6 is 24, and this will be minus 15. So we got delta G. We got delta G. Now in order to find this Ig, the formula is Ig equal to delta G divided by delta. Delta G divided by delta. To find the value of Ig, you can use the equation like Ig is equal to delta G by delta. So delta G is minus 15 and delta is minus 230. Let us divide them. Minus 15 divided by minus 230. 0.0652. So we get 0.0652 ampere, or Ig is equal to 6.52 into 10 power minus 2 ampere. So we got the value of Ig as 6.52 into 10 power minus 2 ampere. So this is how you can solve the current flowing through the galvanometer in a Wheatstone bridge, or the value of Ig. Up to now we have learned some problems regarding current electricity chapter. The problems based on resistivity, current density, and also drift velocity, and also finally Wheatstone's bridge. So these problems are important because these problems can be asked in your examination. Thank you.